The story of the lioness Nala is an epic tale of this female who became the leader of the lions. There, in the vast African savanna, where the scorching sun and dry lands prevail, where life becomes a struggle between survival and destruction, an extraordinary story unfolds in this world, where strength and courage are the only way to rule. The demand for power rises with every roar, and leadership is contested with sharp claws and unimaginable ferocity. Queen Nala grew up to defy all expectations, to create a story like no other, where this stubborn female shone and displayed her strategic brilliance amid the wild wilderness, in a land where lions fight daily to hold on to power. This lioness achieved the unimaginable, ascending to the highest throne of nature, revealing to the world what it truly means for the queen of the jungle to be female. She transcended boundaries and formed a strong and unexpected alliance by uniting males and females under her leadership. The lioness shattered all the rules, defied all traditions, and turned chaos to her advantage. She not only preserved her pride, but also led with extraordinary wisdom, organizing hunting strategies and defense tactics with precision. Her powerful presence and her ability to earn the respect and loyalty of her peers stand as living testimony that strength is not merely a matter of brute force, but also cunning and vision. In fierce and intense battles, she led both females and males into numerous clashes, not only defining her territories, but also rewriting the rules of monarchy in the animal kingdom. Her thrilling story begins in the lesser-known lands of Tarangire National Park, a vast wildlife reserve in Tanzania. Though not as famous as Serengeti or Masai Mara, Tarangire possesses a hidden beauty, with sprawling plains, ancient baobab trees, and an abundance of wildlife habitats. It is a place where nature still rules everything, with a significant sense of calm, where fewer tourists visit and the secrets of the wilderness remain untouched. And this relative calm made Tarangire an ideal site for scientific research, with conservation groups closely monitoring lion populations here to better understand their social dynamics and movements. Human population density is also remarkably low, which increases fierce competition for resources, with other predators like hyenas and leopards making life difficult for these big cats. The good availability of prey and the vast stretch of land-forced lions to split into smaller groups to improve their chances of survival. Among these groups was the majestic pride, a small pride of lions living in this part of the park, named by researchers because of their stunning appearance and regal behavior, led by a black-maned lion called Magnus. He possessed a distinctive dark mane, a piercing gaze, and was a seasoned warrior of the plains known for his strength and wisdom, supported by his warrior daughter Nala. At that time, Nala was a striking lioness with sharp eyes and a strong golden body. Her mother, along with a few other lionesses, formed the core of the pride, and everyone lived in relative peace and harmony under Magnus's leadership. Yet peace in Tarangire was always temporary and fragile, vulnerable to the whims of nature and the threat of intruders. During this time appeared a nomadic lion, known to conservation experts by the scar etched menacingly on his face. He was a battle-hardened lion who gained his strength through a nomadic life of constant roaming and struggle for land and food without a pride, without cubs to protect or lionesses to feed. His only pursuit was strength and dominance, and thus his arrival into the pride's territory was like the calm before the storm. But despite his courage, Magnus was an old warrior. So when the nomadic lion appeared on the horizon with his dominant presence and eyes hungry for battle and blood, the clash between the two powerful lions was inevitable. A fierce and bloody fight erupted, a violent collision where every blow and bite echoed through the land in a struggle for survival. The lionesses, watching from a distance, realized that the outcome of this battle would determine their future. Unfortunately, Magnus, the old king, and advanced in years, was no match for the strength and savagery of his opponent. After a terrifying struggle, Magnus received a final devastating blow. The nomadic lion struck him down and proclaimed himself the new king of the area. For Nala, the loss of her father was a crushing blow. Magnus was not only a leader, but also a strong and compassionate protector of all members of the Pride. His death marked the end of a bright era and the beginning of a dark one under the rule of the new tyrant. Nala proved her indomitable power, sharp intelligence, and determination to avenge her father. In the aftermath of the tragedy, she waited and planned, fully aware that achieving revenge and justice required patience and strategy. These dramatic events did not go unnoticed. The majestic Pride, once known and monitored by local conservationists, became the focus of intensive study, especially after the arrival of the new king. Reports revealed a gripping story of significant loss of strength and resilience within the Pride after the change of leadership. While assuming the throne, the nomadic king, known for his brutality, ushered in an era of terror and oppression. He used force to subjugate the Lionesses despite their immense strength. But the lion was blind to recognizing this and underestimated the knowledge, intelligence, and cunning of the furious Lionesses. Nala continued to plan in silence, crafting a story retold not only by those who followed her life's details, but by everyone who came to know the greatness of her spirit and the strength of her leadership. The reign of the new tyrant over the Pride was like playing with fire. One night, during one of his regular patrols, the king returned with serious injuries, perhaps from a clash with other nomadic lions. The exact circumstances of his injuries remained unclear, but the fight left him extremely weakened, unable to hunt alone. He decided to rely on the Pride's lionesses to provide food and restore his strength. But the wounded king did not expect what was coming. The lionesses, led by Nala, made a surprising decision. Instead of feeding him and helping him recover, they chose to starve him, weakening him to the point where he could no longer defend himself. He became isolated and slowly succumbed to hunger and his grave injuries. It was a moment of justice and silent revenge that revealed Nala's character and the new dynamics of the Pride. With the tyrant's death, the Pride faced a power vacuum, but it was short-lived. Nala stepped forward with her commanding presence and undeniable aura of leadership. She soon took control of the Pride, which consisted of the adult lionesses and their cubs, who began to see Nala as their legitimate leader. Queen Nala not only led the hunting operations, but also organized defense strategies for their territory, ensuring the preservation of Magnus's legacy. Nala's story began to emerge as a remarkable example of leadership. Her strong authority, combined with the data collected about her, became more than just scientific knowledge. It turned into a fascinating narrative of resilience and adaptability. Nala organized the Pride with astonishing efficiency and led the hunts with precise strategy. Under her guidance, the Pride hunted in coordination, with each member playing a critical role in chasing and bringing down prey. Unlike the typical behavior where the dominant male eats first, the lionesses left the first share to Queen Nala, who chose the best parts of the kill. This privilege clearly demonstrated her power, as the lionesses and cubs followed her with loyalty and respect. Everyone recognized her as a leader. Due to her strength and wide intelligence, Nala ensured the cubs were well fed and protected. She displayed a rare blend of power and compassion, embodying a leader who knew when to be harsh and when to be decisive. Her leadership was tested several times by nomadic lions drawn to the Pride's power and stability, who sought to seize control. On one occasion, 2 young lions appeared on the horizon, still in their early stages of growth, with clear intentions of taking over the Pride. Following the typical behavior of intruding lions, they tried to show brute force. However, they underestimated the strength of the majestic Pride under Nala's leadership. As the young lions approached, Nala led the Pride in a fierce defense, standing at the front line, roaring and advancing with unwavering determination. The violent battle began, with the lionesses using their agility and teamwork to surround and attack the intruders. Nala led the assault with unmatched ferocity, delivering decisive blows to the young males. The invaders quickly realized that the takeover would not be as easy as they had thought. They were forced to retreat, leaving the Pride intact and more united than ever. A few months later, another challenge arose when an older and more experienced lion, notorious for his erratic and aggressive behavior, attempted to confront the majestic Pride once again. The Lionesses, under Nala's leadership, responded to the danger cleverly, luring the intruder into rocky terrain that restricted his movement. The fight was swift and brutal, with Nala and her pride displaying tactical skill that even surprised the observers. The intruding lion sustained serious injuries and fled immediately. For 2 years, the cohesive pride was not an easy target. Nala ruled the pride with strength and discipline. She not only challenged the rival lions around her, but also defied the biological norms of lions and their society. Yet the natural course of life in the wilderness brought an inevitable turn when a male lion appeared in the area. But unlike other challengers, he seemed different. He showed no aggression and did not attempt to take over the pride by force. Instead, he approached cautiously and with respect. Researchers observing from a distance soon realized that this lion was not a stranger. He was familiar with the area and the lionesses. Over time, it became clear that this lion was most likely Nala's brother who had left the pride in his youth, as is common among male lions when they reach maturity. His return was a homecoming and a renewal for the strong pride. Nala recognized the value he could bring to the group and accepted him without conflict. This peaceful acceptance marked a new era for the pride, an era where Nala's leadership not only continued, but also expanded into an alliance with her brother. This union surprised the researchers, as Nala proved that survival does not depend solely on strength, but also on intelligence, compassion, and the strengthening of family bonds. Nala showed that she was a leader who understood the power of unity and cooperation. Now she roams with her brother across the lands of the majestic pride, reinforcing their control over the region. Researchers continued documenting this remarkable story. The saga of Nala, the lioness who became queen of the jungle, highlighted the complexity and beauty of wildlife in the vast and harsh plains of Tarangire, where the pride thrives under the leadership of a lioness and her brother, who defied tradition and rewrote the rules of the animal kingdom.